Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Ah, yeah. Oh, let's turn that off. Welcome to number 12. Can you imagine? Number 12. I know that doesn't sound like a lot to some people, but I tell you what I just told you. Number 12 is really cool because that means there was 11 before it. Aside from stating the obvious, I hope everyone's doing great. Is this about gaming? Yes. Kind of. Sort of. Fire? How's it going? Hope you're having a good day. Got a few minutes? Sweet. Sweet. I guess you're back to work? Or are you doing the daily grind of editing? Just grinding out the editing, right? No, I wanted to talk about gaming on the channel. Some may have noticed that I have a hodgepodge. Now, I have mentioned this before. I know my memory's bad. Really, really, really bad. But I do remember mentioning why I have this, because I don't want to split up the community. And I'm just praying that people take the channel as it is. Right? Limited for time is an understatement. I wish I could be doing that right now. But I don't have. My last Nintendo died like many moons ago. But back on topic here. It's one of those things where I like all my eggs in one basket kind of thing. It would be, for me, way too much to hit a game channel, to hit a family channel, to hit a modeling channel or whatever. Or even if I just divided that kind of gobbledygook up and just said, you know what, this is my whatever channel, and then I'm going to make something else, and then make something else. That's just more I have to keep track of. And, yeah. My brains are oozing out of my ears as we speak. So, and I haven't even done anything yet. So, so that's why you kind of see everything hodgepodge, just right together, right? Like sort of like a meatloaf, right? All the ingredients, you just mush it together, huck it in the oven, and voila! Hey, meat a la pie, I guess. I hear you. I have 3 channels and I've only posted on one. Time. Bingo. That is the biggest killer. Time. Thank you, Fire. Time is a killer in my world because there's a severe lack of it. There are times, especially when things coincide and the stars align. Okay? Kids are in school, wife's out of the house, chores are done. Well, chores, you gotta take care of your house, man. So, got all that housework done, and I wake up extremely early every morning, military habit, but I wake up extremely early every morning, and I go for it, right? Once the foot is depressing that pedal, the gas pedal, it's go time, baby. But there are occasions where I have time to do this or that in game and stream, kind of. Yesterday I did stream, and it was probably the worst time to do it because everybody was in the house. I couldn't use the mic. I destroyed my right shoulder, which basically makes my right arm kind of useless right now, and it's in a lot of pain. But I tried getting the snowblower going, which ran perfectly when I put it in the garage, and then when I needed it, wouldn't start. It's a pull stat, not an electric stat. I've tried pulling with my left arm, and again, it's just, the machine's old. We got it from somebody about 10 years ago, and they had it probably for about that same amount of time. It's an old snowblower, and it's been a workhorse for years, but I think it's finally showing its age. Like I need to bring it to a small engine repair. Like, I can't do it. Not anymore. I used to be able to figure things out when I had a memory. But, and I don't have kids. Yep, right. Hey. Might. Soon. There you go. There. You're going to have 3 sets of triplets. You're welcome. Anyways, yesterday I tried streaming. It was just a bad time. And then I didn't rage quit. If anybody caught the stream yesterday, Aliens Dark Descent, and I might try it again today. I don't know. But I started playing it. Now I've beat the game twice. But I figured, I haven't played it for a while. I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and do it, even if it's just one video. Don't care, It's just something to pass the time away, and it's kind of fun. And I like the Aliens universe, I guess, if that's what you call it there. The movies, Aliens, Alien 3. I like those 3 movies. Those are pretty cool. I have not seen the new show, though, but I'm getting off track. After 4 times dying in the same spot, I turned it off because it was in an unfortunate spot where to restart it again was not just a couple seconds. You had to go and watch the exact same long cutscene over and over. For me, not a big deal because I really don't care. But for people watching, I was like, man, they've already seen this 4 straight times, the same cutscene, and it's a lengthy one too. And they've seen it 4 straight times with a quick death at the end of each one. I was like, all right, I'm tapping out. Nobody's going to want to keep seeing somebody go on and just die over and over and over again. Unless it's a first-person shooter. If it's a first-person shooter, then you're supposed to die over and over. People get it. But in a game like that, they don't get it. So I deleted it because I was like, wow, that was like 30 minutes of an epic shit show. So I was like, yeah, we're going to dust that one under the rug. Hopefully people will forget about it. And even if they did, I brought it back up like an idiot. But that's okay. That's what this channel's for. for being an idiot and sharing the idiocracy with you. So this is good. The unavoidable cutscene. Boy, don't you know it, man. Gotta love it. When you use your headset, it wouldn't matter because you would be able to talk about it and have a laugh. I was actually smiling, but I was feeling bad for the people watching. And that was the only reason why I just cut bait and left. I was like, nah, there's no way. And you're right. It might have been different if I had the headset on. If I was able to have the headset on, rather, and to explain, like, hey, sorry guys, this is, yeah. And I tried in the comments. I was like, I guess I'm just not that sneaky today, and I did it. I think that was after the second time, and then I did it a third, died, did it a fourth, died, and I was like, no, nobody's that. Even I wouldn't watch a stream. I would walk away. If it was like you, let's say, I would be like, this is painful. I'll just leave it on. I'll come back in a few minutes if he's still streaming, or if, the controller's broken in half, or just, walk away from it. But yeah, that doesn't happen very often. Like I said, I was in a lot of pain. It was extremely busy, extremely noisy. I thought I could scrape together at least an hour. And I think the time, I think the time would have done it. Like, I think I would have had the time, but it's just the other elements involved. When I'm in a lot of pain and I'm trying to get my mind off of it, gaming is great. However, gaming and live streaming was just the hair too much kind of thing. So let me grab my monster drink. I need my monster drink. Oh, must be a clear version of Monster. That Monster sure tasted good. We don't like that Gatorade, do we? That's an inside joke, by the way. I'm busting Bob. Do we call him Bob? Robert. Yeah, if I had a monster, you would see me talk really fast, my heart would explode, and I would die on live stream. That would be about it. Sorry about the shoulder and snowblower. I saw your video about getting that thing dialed in, and thank you, by the way. Appreciate that, man. It's kicking my butt today, but not as bad as yesterday. I did. I tinkered with it, and I was like, yes, brought it back from the dead, got it back, and I was like, we can do, if it can just make it one more winter. I've been saying that for quite a few years. One more winter, if it can make it. If I could just get it going. And, yeah, I couldn't. The second time it snowed, that's when we got like 1.5 feet, 2 feet of snow. That's what we got out here. Hey, it's warmed up. It's -11. It was -16. So, it warmed up a bit. I went to try and get it started after that second attempt, which really kicked my butt just before I played the Aliens game. And it actually started. Surprised the crap out of me. It actually started. And I was like, oh, it started. Great. So I'm tinkering with it. And it only ran maybe 30, 35 seconds. To me, it felt longer than that. But honestly, it was like 30 seconds, right? But in that 30 seconds, I'm twisting this and dialing that in and and adjusting that. I checked forward, reverse, and all the other gears. Everything worked fine. It sounded, it was supposed to be amped up because I had it full bore. But it only was like maybe half. Am I getting like a reverb echo? There we go. I'll just turn off that. There we go. Anyway, on my end, not yours. So I got it running, but it was sounding. It wasn't like fluttering, right? It wasn't bouncing or anything like that RPM wise. It was pretty steady, but it was low. But it should have been like just whoa, and really loud, but it wasn't. It was almost like I had an idle. The moment I went to go check the auger. Now that's going to put a load, on the system. I went and just depressed the auger instantly. It quit. And I was like, crap. It could be a multitude of things. The spark plug's fine. Oil's fine. Everything else is fine. I even put some seafoam mixed with the gas, and that ended up fine. The fuel lines, from the tank to the cab are fine because you have that depressor button, okay, that squirts extra fuel if you need it, into the carburetor. I did it enough where it actually, it just pissed out the side of it there, just that once. So I was like, okay, everything's flowing, but I don't know why. Now, it could be a stuck lifter. It could be a stuck ring, piston ring. Ask me, and I'm gonna be like, don't know. So, white monster, mostly clear. We have a paramedic in training, and they have ran a 12 lead on my monster heart, a physical specimen horse. Nice. Sounds like my lawnmower. I raked and mulched my leaves to throw away, and it was 10 minutes before I got it running right. Yeah, sometimes they can kind of be a beast. I saw that video where you were moving. You had to get it started to move it out of the way, and I was like, yeah, I guess he's. And I was like, well, wait a minute, I could, and I don't have a lot of the knowledge anymore, but I'm like, my first instinct was like, ooh, I can try and fix that. I was like, man, I wish he lived closer. I'd tinker with that. While he's working, I just go over and start tearing everything apart. I mean, it's not like you're going to drive that, Honda Shadow anytime soon. I'm sending you my snow. That's what I'm doing. As a gift. From my hat. Yeah, my weather is yours. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's distracting, but yeah. I'm sorry, I was watching the gameplay. You're so good. Hey, what? That's what brothers are for, man. Huh? Anytime. Oh, wait a minute. I think yours just, from Fire Moto. Just got dinged on a new video. Riding into new territory. Heading to meet Lucky. I'll have to watch that after the live stream. I know I didn't set up OBS to run a web page because I could do it right in that same section, but yeah, maybe next time I'll have that set up, and then I'll just go through I'll just go hit all sorts of channels, do all sorts of channel shout outs and play, little pieces of videos from all your channels and just talk about it and just BS about it. Why not? We can. Let's see. There's no PC games. I don't know if anybody was like, oh, is this guy just console? I was both. Mostly console. I was both. Both. Can't even talk. Alright, so I'm gonna go way off kilter here. Not even on topic. Effing shoulder. Anyways, the neurologist put me on a new medication. I'm not even going to try and pronounce said new medication. Because it's that jacked up. I don't know why they do that. But it is supposed to help with the nerves firing, the brain firing. Oh, there we go. The brain firing to the nerves. The myasthenia gratis. Oh God, I probably even jacked that up. It's an immune disorder. It blocks that function. So it's almost like you have Parkinson's, but you don't have Parkinson's. You know what I mean? In Parkinson's, people they're all over the place. Their speech is everywhere and stuff like that. I have family members, including my biological mom. My biological dad ended up having it as well before he passed. But so it does run in the family. It's just this isn't Parkinson's. It's a disorder that there is no cure, unfortunately, and the medication can not necessarily stop it, but stunt it. And if it works, which we're hoping it will, it'll just like stay where it's at and not get any worse. So there's always that, which really kind of sucks for me. I'm a very much I'll do it myself kind of person. I'm not saying I'm not a team player. I love being on a team, but through my life, at least the teams that I've been on, most of them are jacked up. So I ended up, you figure how to do things on your own, right? So you do, with what you got around you. And it worked out perfectly when I was in the military. So, anyways, it was something I needed to bring up. I forgot about that the last time. But if I did bring it up last time, I don't know. No rush. I posted 5 minutes before you got online, so I was already in the man cave for the live. I got to be somewhere at 2, so I'm here. Right on! 2. Wait a minute. So this is almost noon. You're an hour ahead, so that'd be 1. So it should be like 1 o'clock your time. If I got my time zones correct, because I'm an hour behind you. Being on Central Standard Time. You know, speaking of Central, all the other states, like, people talk about, like, oh, Minnesota gets so cold. Minnesota gets so cold. Do you realize North Dakota gets twice as cold as Minnesota? But yet, nobody in the national news ever talks about North Dakota. It's like we're the forgotten redheaded stepchild. It's like, what's up? It's like, yo, I'm here. And very cold, yes. They say this is going to be a bad winter. Technically, this type of temperature is normally beginning January. January, February is when we get our butts kicked temperature-wise. To us, that's when it's like minus 30. We've gotten minus 62 before. So we're used to that. What we're not used to is the quasi-negative temperatures that we're getting now at this time of year. So it's a little odd, but something to do with the polar vortex sending Arctic air. It's destabilized in the Arctic, and it's basically sending stuff everywhere up north here. So we're in for it, you know. Father Winter's pissed at us for some stupid reason. What other update? Oh, yes. Sorry, but no work will be done. I said this before, just reiterating it basically, but no work will be done on the battleship for this month. Obvious reasons. So Kind of sucks. I got into a groove, got into a rhythm, and then ran out of wood. And running out of wood meant I ran out of finances. So, I have a majority of the ship. No. Majority of the ribs is what I meant to say. A majority of the ribs are up. But I still need a couple, and I still need 2 pieces for the deck. If I can get that done next month and still have some money left over, I might be able to buy some balsa wood sheeting, and start doing the hull plating. If I do the hull plating, man, we're rocking. We're rocking at that point. No rush. Not sure if you do it, but you can make categories for your videos, ship videos, game videos, etc. Yeah. What do they call them? Oh, a playlist or something like that. Is that what you meant? And I know you can make like different categories. Right now I have one that's gaming, right? And the category, when you add it to your front YouTube page, it'll say, do you want a single playlist category, multiple playlist category? I choose multiple playlist. So then I name the category gaming, and then each game has its own individual playlist under that category, in hopes that it kind of makes sense for people when they go there, because they can click on the playlist in that category and they see all the gaming, playlists. And everything's all together. I did that with the Living Life, right? So that is multiple playlists, and that one has the Battleship project in its own playlist, family fun in its own playlist, and I think there's only like 4 playlists under that category. So I tried to make it easier for people. Again, working with one page. It was a bugger to figure out at first, and I'm still figuring things out, but it's a hell of a lot more easier to do it that way than multiple pages. I don't know if that makes sense. I get the dedication to multiple pages. I get it. It's just, I think the reasoning, like I had to ask myself, why would you make a separate page? And then I'd ask myself, why would you have it on the same page, right? So I tried to play devil's advocate with myself. And it just made more sense for me, because I don't monetize anything. I'm not looking to gain traction in the social media world, which is evident because I only have YouTube. I don't have, anything else. So, I can see people, there's a big YouTuber. I'll just use him as an example. Might as well. The Rad Brad. I've been watching him for years. I'm not subscribed to him currently, but I've been watching him for years, and he dedicated his channel to gameplay and walkthroughs, just gaming, period. End of discussion. Nothing else. No shorts, nothing. At least I don't think he does shorts. But that was great, but he was looking to monetize. He was looking to make a living, basically, off of that. So I got it. But I'm not charging anybody anything. I'm not doing Patreon. I'm not doing any of that funky stuff. For me, it's just a channel to share cool stuff with that I like. I'm sure there's how many subs do I have? I don't know. I have a little over 100. Subscribers. So that means there's a little over 100 people that like the same things I do and don't mind the gobbledygook loadout of, gaming here and family life there and model ship there, and I even have a playlist. Let's let's see, what is that called? Now I can't. I can't remember. Oh, things I like. I couldn't think of a stupid name, a simple name, a single word name, or whatever for the category. So I just put things I like. And then, again, using the multiple playlist, which I'm a big fan of, because it kind of keeps things together in certain categories, and you don't have, like, instead of having 50 categories, you can have 3 categories with 50 things in each category, if that makes any sense. But I put that, I have my favorite hockey team, my favorite baseball team, my football team, football players, favorite football players from like Barry Sanders. I was never a Detroit Lions fan, but Barry Sanders, the GOAT of all time, baby. I watched him, of course this makes me feel old, but I watched him when he was drafted, and going up through the ranks. And he was just amazing to see. Emmett Smith can go suck a goat's toe, man. Barry Sanders is the GOAT. So, I wish people could subscribe to individual playlists and not just to a channel. I'd have all kinds of playlists under firefighters, so old school. Oh, yeah, so old school gaming, motorcycles, photography. Yeah, well, I mean, the way I look at it, and I have in the past, and I think even now there might be a handful of channels that I subscribe to that have more than just the one subject. But if I like what the person is doing, and I like how the person is presenting it, I've watched stuff that I'm not even interested in from that person, and only because it's on their channel, right? And I wouldn't have been subject to it otherwise. So I think there's kind of a benefit at times with things like that. I see what you're saying, though. Sorry, I'm slinking further and further. Oh, old, and in a lot of pain. See, now I forgot what the hell I was saying. Oh yeah, going back to your categories and wishing people could subscribe to just the category. I personally, I understand what you're saying. I think it would add, excuse me, if they did that, I think it would add a higher level of complication on their end that I don't think they want to delve into. So I understand that reasoning as well. But yeah, I suppose it would be cool. Multiple channels just seems really, really hard. I was told years ago, that if I wanted to do that when I got back into scale modeling, if I wanted to do just a modeling channel, which I had at the time, but I wanted gaming too, and they were like, we'll split up your channel. And at first, I kind of toyed with the idea of doing that, but then I started to think that by doing that, the people that do watch, I found out later that there's a lot of people that did scale modeling that also do gaming, so it's not their only hobby. And then I started realizing, well, that's true. People don't just have the one hobby. For instance, if you don't mind, I'll use firefighter as an example. Sorry, Bob. He's not just into motorcycles. He's into photography. He likes gaming. What I'm getting at is that people have a variety of hobbies, but on YouTube, it's always been sort of that stigmata of you got to have just one, and if you have more than anything of one on your channel won't do good, right? So there's a lot of fear mongering, at least when I was being introduced into that type of world early on years ago. So, and I found out that that's all it was. It was just fear mongering. That it's ultimately your channel, and if you want multiple channels, go for it. Not just you, firefighter, obviously. Talking kind of in a general sense. That I support anybody that does that. Or if you want to like a single channel and just have it sort of a hodgepodge, that it's your I can't move my shoulder. Your quoties, right? Your hobby channel. Spit it out. Uh, um, then yeah, then go for it. And that's kind of what I have is sort of a generalistic hobby channel. Um, I really liked it when I turned my Rascals Hobbies, which is the original name that I had, into American Outlaw, and then the new group of people that I was able to meet through that, and in the motorcycle hobby, while I was trying to figure out my '74 Yamaha. Just my goodness, just flow with me, man. So going through that, great community, which is also how I met Firefighter. And I met a lot of other great people. Old Mac, Motorbond, Virginia, Sick Bastard was another one. I'm not good with names. There's a lot. Okay, so forgive me if I'm not like sitting here for 10 minutes spewing them all out. So, but we have an opinion. Okay, opinion piece time. I gotta remember to call you Fire Moto, not Firefighter. Fire Moto. My apologies if I keep calling you Firefighter. I know that you switch channels and people would probably get confused. Kind of like what I'm doing. Anyways, let's read. Uh, for my own opinion, and I'm trying to scale within reason. I won't sacrifice my idea and mindset for YouTube. Good job. But I know there are people that watch my moto vlogs that could care less about cameras. Call me whatever. I'm not worried. Oh, yeah. Rob, Bob, Carla. I don't know. Anyways, going back to it's interesting. It's interesting that you said it because it's almost. Do I dare? Oh, no, okay. Well, okay. So moto vlog, right? Obviously, it's you're vlogging. That's video. You're taking video. So camera, right? You know where I'm going with this, right? So if there are people that could care less about cameras, they might not ride. Because if you're watching moto vlogging, chances are you're in that same mindset, right? You have a bike, you have, a GoPro or something at least. Camera, the camera would totally rock with that. At least I can see that, like for me, if I'm watching you and I'm like, I don't give two Twinkies about his gaming. I just want to see some moto vlogging, and I moto vlog, right? Hypothetically, I actually don't. But anyways, I moto vlog. I want to see. But he's got cameras. Oh, that might help me with my moto vlogging, right? It's like they work hand in foot. I think, at least in my world, they do. But there are a few that would watch it all because of the friendship, blah, 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 emotional, tear-jerking, Hallmark card moment. Yes. So hopefully that made sense, right? I'm just piggybacking off of what you were saying. I'm not like, hey, put your dukes up. Nothing like that. It was just something I noticed. I was like, well, technically, if you put cameras and moto vlogging together, they're kind of hand and foot. I would watch that for both. If I was in the world of motorcycling and you were vlogging, one, I like what you're doing, which means there's a chance that if I'm not vlogging myself, I'm going to start vlogging. But I don't know squat about settings. I don't know squat about brand names. How to place it on the helmet or the bike or whatever, whatever. But the camera thing would be like, oh, yeah, he's taking pictures of his his fur family, or he's taking pictures of a tree or whatever. It's the settings. I'd be like, ooh, I like the way that looks, and this is how he showed me. You know, bada boom, bada bing. That was my shoulder. Oh, it's time to take some more Monster drink. Or is this Gatorade? You be the judge. I barely have any taste, so it really doesn't matter. I got hit with pneumonia October of 2020. So bad that it put me down for a couple weeks. And literally, before I could even recover from pneumonia, I got COVID at the same time, which put me out for another month. Since then, I don't smell food. I don't taste food. Things have been just really different since COVID. You don't have, no soup for you. You don't have a vote. You, Mister, you should start drinking sweet tea and Gatorade and, pinky up. At least you're in a profession where if you drop all of a sudden, they're going to know why. They're going to be like, oh, he had a monster today. We'll just step over him. Run the line around him. He can hold it while he's laying passed out on the ground, If firefighting wasn't hard enough, I always give wicked kudos and props to the firefighters that are, and I get the reason why they have to just like when I was in the military, constantly working out, right? Working on certain elements of your body, because when we had to be trained to get wounded up and you didn't have a stretcher, carrying 180 pounds to 220, depending on the person, usually average range, and carrying that much weight on your shoulders is not easy. Anybody that sees movies where they just flip up a person on their shoulder and they're just, and they're like running and booking it and they're doing it up and down stairs. Nope. Nope. Don't believe it. If for 1 minute, don't do it. God, I'll never forget. There was one time. This kid was a good kid. It was back in the service, and we were doing those drills where we had to pick him up off the ground, do it in the right, doing it in the right way, so you're not hurting yourself and causing yet more resources to be spent to save now 2 people, right? And over your shoulder carry, right? They call it, I guess, the fireman carry. And we had to do, I wouldn't call it so much a sprint, but we had to carry him X amount of yards, like a lot, or meters, as they have it in the service. And you had to go there and back. And you had to do it within a certain time frame. And let me tell you, this kid he had to have been 6'2", maybe 6'3", tall black kid from downtown Chicago. I can't remember exactly where in Chicago. Huge. I mean, he was like 240, right? And I mean solid muscle. And they expected me, 6 foot, right? And I think I was about $185 fighting weight at the time. Definitely a lot more now. And they expected me to huck him over my shoulders and do this. And I was like, you guys hate me? Is that what it is? You guys just literally hate me. You want me to do what? All right, fine. I did. My legs felt like jello. I made it, but I tell you, just. So to do something like that, when it counts, again, I give props to people that can do it. and hope. I pray and hope that people know their limits, and if they can't, like if they're a smaller person, 5'9", 5'6", or whatever, and maybe how are you supposed to lift a 6'2", 220, right? And you're 5'6" or 5'7". It just like if you can't do it, don't go into that side of the profession. Be a firefighter, but my goodness, send in one of the bulls and get them in there to drag people out. Uh-oh. Damn, you bit through it. Volunteer firefighters are on a different level. City guys get paid like myself. Spoiler alert, most firefighters are out of shape. Don't tell me that, man. Because I'll tell you, I got so much metal in my body, I literally sink. I can't even swim. I used to be an amazing swimmer. Well, okay, I'm patting myself on the back. I was a good swimmer. I grew up around lakes, rivers, ponds. You name it. I was swimming all the time growing up. But I've had 7 surgeries in the last 12 years. Most of my back is titanium with screws. The pads, the discs in between, they're all gone too. They're now replaced with synthetic. I go to swim, it's like swim, bloop, 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 and that quickly. The real fun ones are the 300-pounders that are covered in poop that need a lift off the floor. Oh my god! Oh my god! Hey, is that one of those ask me how I know moments? If it is, don't want to know, man. I don't want to know. I've lifted my fair share of people that aren't. I don't know. I don't really want to get into it, but yeah, I've lifted my fair share, and I'll tell you, it's tough. It is nothing like the movies. People watching, please don't think that it's like the movies, because it is difficult when the person is passed out, and you need to get that person either evac'd or out of a burning house, depending on what profession you're in. You have a monumental challenge ahead of you, because now not only do you have to do all that dead weight lifting, and I'm telling you, the person feels twice as heavy, if not more, when they're passed out. It is dead weight. But now their life is in your hands. No pressure, no stress. You're good. Coming up on 20 years, and there have been a lot of ask me how I know moments. Oh, I bet, dude. Yep, I bet. And that's one of those things that if we can get live streamed, we can get live streamed together on the same live stream. I guess you know what I mean. Those moments will have to come up, right? Just BSing and be like, oh, really? Well, I remember when, right? And then just let her go. Blah. Start going down memory lane. It's therapeutic, to be honest. I had, and this is how I know. When I can, I try to do just this every Monday, as most as I know it sounds weird. I try to do it every Monday only because I have therapy. I see my therapist just before this, and it's EMDR therapy. You can look it up. It's intense, right? It pulls memories that you've completely forgotten about out in the open, and you face it. And the process is intense, and it kicks your ass. I mean, that's an hour of taking body shots from like Mike Tyson, mentally, and coming on here and just not necessarily, I'll never talk about what I talk about with my therapist online. Never. So, but by just talking and communicating, it kind of kicks it down a notch, you know? So, yeah, doing lives, very therapeutic. Never think of a live stream as stressful. If it's stressing you out, then you're doing something wrong because you just need to simplify it. KISS method. Huh? Keep it simple, stupid. Absolutely. I could see it now. You tell a story and it reminds me of one of mine, and then you are reminded of another of yours. And that's exactly how it works, brother. Because there's a lot of times, if you just left me like this, if it wasn't for just talking to somebody, my brain is like, you don't need to remember things right now or ever until somebody says something and you be like, you're listening. You're like, oh, that reminds me of blah, blah, blah. All right. And off and running. Damn, sounds like a lot, but necessary. Yes. Yeah, it is. It's helped me out quite a bit. I've been at it for 4 years, and at first, I mean, there's still sessions where I'm bawling like a baby, because these are very painful memories. But once you work through them and you process through them, they're there. You acknowledge, you accept that they're there, but they don't bother you anymore. You know, because you went through and you processed correctly, right? Getting off your shoulders is just a small portion of that. Moto Bomb. Hey, I mentioned your ears must have been ringing, Moto Bomb. Now there's Fire Moto. I was talking about you earlier. All bad. No, just joking. When you rewatch it, you'll see. It's all good. I was talking about, friends in the community and how I made friends on YouTube. And I was talking about you and Old Mac and Sick Bastard. And just like now, I come up short. I mean, I could go on if I could remember them. But there's a lot more. But thought I'd stop by your stream, say hello to you, rascal. Hope your days have been well. It has been, Moto. I appreciate you coming through. Still watching that new Fire vid. I haven't watched it yet. I got to do that after the live stream. But yeah, no, I hope things are going well on your end as well, the Motobomb. Let's turn it off. It's trash, Moto. No, Rascal has nothing bad to say about the community. Riding into new territory. Yeah, that's his new one. I haven't seen that one yet. Matter of fact, it was during the stream where I looked over at my phone. And I saw I got a notification. I was like, for YouTube? I was like, who popped that up? Sure enough, same guy is talking. Rob, Bobby. What do you call him, Bobby? That makes you sound young, don't it? Fear, Moto. Fire Moto. He'll answer it. Yeah, I believe he said that it was going to be a mini series. He made a post about it, that he was editing and doing something like his first ever mini series. Did I call you a donut? Did I? Okay, so the new brain meds are just, yeah. We'll just leave it at that. I always tell the kids, I don't call them donuts. I call them dog nuts. I said, anybody want some dog nuts? And everybody's like, ew. And I was like, oh, more for me. And then they see what I'm eating. They're like, oh, Dad. Won't be that long. Live podcast in the middle. No, you just said the word. Oh, I'm goofy. Oh my god. No, I get it. I get it. I get it. My eyes are twitching so bad. All right, so Motobomb. They put me on. The neurologist put me on new medication because I have a apparently incurable immune disorder, and it blocks. It's like Parkinson's. There we go. So if you know what Parkinson's basically does to a person, that's basically what this is, but it's not Parkinson's. So I'm on this heavy medication along with every other medication that I'm taking. It's supposed to help. It's not to cure, but to at least slow it down. So the progression, because it is progressing pretty fast. The bulge in my brain that they saw, the neurosurgeon said he could go in and clip it out, but he'd rather not and wait another year before any surgery will be done, because we don't know what that's going to do, because it's literally right behind my left eye socket, right behind the sinus. You know, you got the sinuses right there. Well, the bulge is right behind my left eye socket / sinuses, and they don't know why it popped out. They don't know how much. They don't know the pressure yet, because that the tests are still going through. So limbo for a year. Yes, if only I was that flexible. I was also telling Firemoto about the hardships with my my snowblower, because we're sitting at, I think we're still at a negative 11, but that's better than this morning. This morning was negative 16, so we warmed up a bit. But the snow we got just the other day there, I had that snowblower. I made a video about it. I had a snowblower working like a charm. I was like, perfect. This thing's primed, ready to rock. Let's do this. First snow, couldn't get it started. So I had to use the neighbor's snowblower. They were kind enough to let me borrow it. And it's a pull start, which is why I can barely move my right arm at this point. It's killing me, dude. After the stream, I got to go ice it and take something for it. But the second snow that came in was the 1.5-foot type snow, right? And on top of everything else. And I tried starting it again. Nothing. No go. And I was like, well, I'll see if that neighbor will borrow it. Well, the neighbor came over and did it himself. He was kind enough to do it. Because when I snow blow the neighbors on my left and right. And then I do mine last. And then I do the entire sidewalk, which has to be done by city, ordinance or whatever. So that helps him out. The guy to my left, I've known him and his wife since we moved in here, so 11 years ago, and his wife passed away about 3 or 4 years ago. He battled through cancer, and he's turning 90 in May. He's in a home right now because he fell and broke his hip. We went and saw him there yesterday, so I know he can't get out and shovel. Right, so for years I just automatically take care of his, and then I take care of the neighbor next to me, who also passed away. But a young lady, music teacher, bought the house, so she's over there, and I figured, well, if I'm out, I'll go do hers if I see that it hasn't been done yet or whatever, and then I'll do mine last, just to help out. You have to be flexible with those troubles. Damn. Prayers. Hey, well, thank you, Moto. Thank you. I appreciate that. But, yeah, I have to be super careful with my right shoulder. When the doc, after I had surgery in February, I don't know if you remember that, but that was the second one, and they were like, there's nothing else to to attach to pin or screw. They had to readjust the bicep muscle. So the bicep muscle attaches up through there, right? And it kind of curls, well, over here. It kind of curls around. They had to reattach it because the spot that it was attached to was folding like a piece of paper. So they fixed all that gobbledygook, but they said, you trash it next time. It's a shoulder replacement. And I'm like, crap. I don't want that, man. Nope. So I said, I got to be careful. Was I careful the last couple days? No. I use this arm, and I'm pulling like a stupid brainless bull going, I could do it. No, you can't. But, anyways. I was... come on, you can do it, shoulder. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. I didn't even realize it disappeared. It was supposed to loop. But yeah, this was all about gaming today. I came up with kind of a cool intro with cool music. You got to be careful about downloading free to use, copyright free, blah blah blah, music off the internet. It'll say free. And then it'll say, well, you got to sign up to download. All right, okay, so I'll sign up. And half the time, it's like, sign up for a 30-day free trial or a 7-day free trial. And that's like, a free trial? I ain't paying for this crap. I can make it on Suno, which I should have done. But I was in a hurry today, and I was like, the hell with it. I'll just find something real quick. And I like the tune, but then it's got that... okay, hang on. Where did I get it from? Artist.io. Okay, Artist.io. That's where I got the music in the intro of the stream, and they put a background AI voice in the song. So yes, it's free, but then it'll say Artist.io in the background as the music's playing. And then it'll say something else, another phrase, and then it'll say Artist.io, again, and it's like, no, annoying. Oh, somebody's calling. Figures. Well, I've been on here an hour. That's long enough, and I gotta go ice. I'm starting to. I call it quits, man. I'm in a lot of pain. So thank you guys for showing up and chit-chatting. I'm slinking here in the chair. You guys have a good one, and keep an eye out. I think I'm going to probably do a game stream at some point this afternoon. Maybe even soon. Who knows? But until next time, peace.